Hey, today I'm going to talk to you about travel knitting. I'm Cadence Kidwell, proprietress here at Fuzzy Goat in downtown Thomasville, and I just got back from traveling. And I was using my Pleistra backpack. You wouldn't believe, look how how much I can fit into here. I'll maybe if I think about it, I'll go get an empty one. But I hadn't traveled in 3 years, and so I hadn't been using this as a backpack, but I use this all day, constantly for the last few days. And I will admit, I wore it going through the airport in probably not the most attractive way, like this, but it was so handy. Like I could go down the aisle, I had all my stuff, I could get to my wallet, all that kind of stuff. Melissa had her maker's backpack, and it was jam-packed and super functional for her too. She had her water bottle on the side. So today I just want to talk a little bit about how handy it was to actually take these things out into the wild. This was also on my bag the whole time, and you could see how much I've got packed in here, which I wouldn't normally. But you know, when it's your carry-on, you got to have all the things. Your water bottle, your knitting. Of course, my knitting is a sweater, which isn't the most practical for traveling. But this clipper, so like I said, I haven't traveled in 3 years. I hardly ever go anywhere, so I was a little anxious. I'm still a little anxious from it. But wore my mask the whole time. Mr. Fuzzy Goat got us that kind that goes on with the strap that goes around your head. So Melissa and I wore that on the plane, and even at our market. But this clipper holds things up off the nasty floor. I could have given this away 20 times if I had 20 with me to give to my friends. I just keep it on my bag like this. The times you go into the stall and there's no hook and you're like, ooh, I don't want to put my bag on the floor. You don't have to. So that was super practical and really helpful to have with me. I was traveling with, like I said, a sweater project. And I'll tell you something I wish I had had with me. Okay. So I like to, when I'm traveling, I like to have my project in a squishy bag so I can put it in my backpack. So that's all well and good. This is great. This is great, our drawstring with all the things we stand for. I really needed to have a yarn cozy. This is going to be a mess here. I'm going to show you this. I'm kind of embarrassed, but you need to learn from my mistakes. So here's what was a yarn cake from the inside. But as many times as me pulling this whole sweater in and out of this bag, if it was in a yarn cozy, it would have been better off. So my task this afternoon when I go home and get in my PJs, which will be at 5:30, I'm going to be trying to, I'm going to wind this up and get it into a yarn cozy. And also my needle keeper. So I've made a little collection up on, that I think is linked to from this video already to our travel, and Melissa and I will keep adding to it. But this is my needle keeper, and it was over my needles, so my stitches stayed nice and safe. My knitting was not taken from me at all, didn't even cause a peep of comment. So all that was well and good, but we did travel with our circular stitch holders in case we needed to pull them out and put this on there. So that was all well and good. Though I will say I cannot wait to get my knitting back into this. Right, this is not practical for airline travel, but I will be getting my knitting back into my funky project bag. Here are the circular stitch holder packages that I have. And I also fly with a self-addressed stamped envelope. Let me grab that back out here and I will show you. I've never once had to use it, but this time I even put more stamps on it. This is what I travel with in case they're going to take my needles from me, and I'm going to want those needles back. So I don't know if that actually would work. You know, like what? I'm going to put my needles in it and hand it to the TSA, the super busy, very respectful TSA agents. Thank you for keeping us safe out there. And then ask them to take it to the post office, but it gives me peace of mind, kind of like taking your umbrella. So those are some of my travel things. I'm sure that will continue to unfold, but this thing is just chock a block and no worse for wear. because of it. I like to decorate it with our fuzzy goat pens. So that was super fun. I got to see my Good Vibes friends, Sarah and Janet. We made a couple little videos for you, and there's just a few more days to get your ticket for our fall tour, where we are going to coastal cities, but we'll be working with Knitted Wit, Madeline Tosh, and at Haynes House are our dyers for that. We get to announce it earlier this time. But so that was all well and good, and the team, Jennifer, Madeline, and Carolina, kept things running. If you've had a delay in getting back to you, we apologize. Melissa and I are back today, but Jennifer and Carolina and Madeline kept things running for us while we were gone. I want to now take a little tour of what's in the sale, because I don't know what's here, so let's see. I was thinking what I was going to cast on next. I'm working on, I'll put that in the link, I'm working on the Black Thorn sweater. But I am thinking the next thing I want to cast on will be the Descent pullover, but maybe a cardigan. I haven't made a cardigan in a really long time. So I'm thinking the Descent cardigan or the pullover is going to be my next project. These were inspired, Andrea Rangel wrote the patterns, and they are inspired by Ruth Bader Ginsburg's collar. So I thought I might do that. But if you're not up for a sweater, you might enjoy doing Carissa Browning's Descent cowl, and she has a she has a knitted and a crocheted version. And they use one skein each, depending on the yardage, of a DK. So I thought, well, let's go see in the sale if we've got some stuff in the sale for these. So in the DK, let's come over here. We've got, we still have some of our cotton in the sale. This might be a different, this is a more Christmas traditional colorway. These are the only two colors of the cotton that we have left, but that doesn't mean you have to do them both in cotton. Well, actually, you could use this gravel, and that would be pretty with either one of these. Okay, so what's the price? These were $20, the cotton, the red and the green were $20, and they're now $11. And they have 275 yards on them of a mercerized cotton. So that's really great. And let's see. Oh, and thank you all for watching. And Angela's, thank you for the blessing. That's really great. This one is 20 and was 20 and is now 13. And that would also make a really nice sweater. Melissa and I have been especially Melissa was collecting lots of pattern ideas. So we just had such a great time. We took classes on how we can make our business even more inclusive and also more adventurous for you all. And we found some great yarns. Here's some yarn that we can use that's in the sale that could be in the pullovers, because the pullover or either one of the sweaters is a fingering. And this is monos. Oh, and we got to have a early morning. I felt so fancy. We got to have an early morning in the booth, one-on-one meeting with monos to place our order with all their yarns and samples all around us. So that was really enjoyable. I think these two would actually look really great together. This would look fabulous as the body, and then this as the collar, or vice versa. And because it's in the sale and it's monos, which is a fingering, 445 yards. It was 36 and is now 27. And these two colors are really great. You could also do that cowl in a linen if you wanted. That would be really fun. In our quince linen, you might need to go up a needle size because this is an Aran weight, but I think that would that'd be fine. It's a cowl, right? You know? So you could do that. Let's see what else we got over here. Oh, this would make a great sweater too. In our baby bath, our Spud and Chloe Fine, this gray with the blue. This is a great yarn also for babies, and we were on the hunt for some washable baby yarn too that we feel like we found. This is anemone This color is anemone, and this one's called Sidewalk. It's washable, but it's wool with some silk in it. Not too much silk that it feels slippery. 20% silk and 80% superwash wool. And it can go in the washer, so it's great for baby things. You can make a sweater with this, with the collar out of that. That would be very classic. Oh, it was $22 and is now $14.30. And then we also have these two colors also. So you could do the Sidewalk as the body of the sweater and then do the color work and have the color work be kind of stripy. This stripes if you are in a small circumference, but because this is a larger circumference, you know, it might be like a stripe and then the next color would come back through on the next row. That'd be kind of fun. So that's here. This is fun. I'm going through it with you. Let's see what else we got over here. Make sure that stays right. The cowl could also, you could do the cowl with the poncho. With the tweed. I'm looking at the poncho because I still think this tweed would be fabulous in this poncho too. I am up front, and so sometimes the sound is a little odd, but you can always watch it on the replay, and it seems to work out with that just fine. So I apologize if it's not working out seamlessly for you right now. And speaking of seamlessly, Melissa and I were shocked that all our flights were on time. Our bags showed up. We didn't have to sit on the tarmac or anything. It was just smooth sailing, except for being around that many people all at one time. That was I'm really glad to be back in here talking to you. So you could make the descent cowl with this and then maybe add in, something like that would be really rich. This one here is the monochrome worsted, but you could use that as a DK. It can go down, and you could do the descent cowl in those two. Okay, so the tweed was $33 and is now $30.40, and you get 231 yards. And not all of our tweed is on sale, but this is a particular color that we just went really deep in, and so we have a whole lot of it that has been here 6 months when the others had not. I'm looking at something I'm going to grab over here. These sock kits. This is one I bought a ton of. So they are over here, this particular colorway. Look at that. Okay, so these are socks. They make two socks exactly the same. This one is color number 51. But, you don't have to use it just for socks. You can use it as a self-striping yarn. They were $34 and now they're $27.20. So you could use this as a self-striping yarn. So this could be the base of your sweater, and then this could be your color work, and the color work would come out in different colored stripes. So don't think that just because this is a sock, and which is super handy because then each sock is going to come out with the stripes in exactly the same way, doesn't mean that you have to use it only for socks. So wanted you to see that because I caught that over there on the shelf also. And then these fingerings up here would also make great color work, and you could mix that with okay, so this is Phenos, and we ordered a lot of this new some of their brand new colors for the store, but this is a great time to get it on sale. This one doesn't have a price tag on it. All right, this has amazing yardage in it. It has 490 yards in it. It also has 30% silk, which is a heck of a lot of silk. Single ply. It's very similar to Farmer's Daughter Foxy Lady, a little bit thinner, but fluffs up equally nice. And this one is called Boudoir. Was $39 and is now $29.25. And you could mix it with one of these speckles. That would be really pretty too. Oh, yes. All right, so let's see what we got over here. So we have a lot of this Gusto with different colored ways, and so you can look, this one's really pretty and rich. Each one's a little bit different. This Gusto was $34, and that price smeared, and it is now $25.50, and you get 440 yards in there. Well, I think that's mostly what I've got to show you. There's all sorts of great sale stuff here, but I'm going to tell you, my mind is just like it's a little mushy. So I'm going to go put the links up to the things we've been talking about and come back and say hello to all of you. Melissa and I are in the store today with the great support of Jennifer, who we're infinitely grateful for keeping everything running. Oh, there's a book in our sale too. And I saw this delightful woman did a great talk at Market also. So this book was $24.99 and is now $19.99, and has great stories of makers in there. She gave a great talk. So we hope you find some treasures in the sale. We're hoping you find some enjoyment and comfort in casting on a Descent cowl or a pattern sweater. I think that's what I'm going to start looking for, some yarn for that. So you'll be watching me unfold that. And then if you are planning on traveling, the backpacks we put them to use and back, and they were just fabulous. So we were really grateful, and mostly so excited to see all of you. We learned from some other yarn shops there that you all are customers of those shops. Melissa was famous. People would come up to her and say, my customers watch you. Oh, it just did my heart so good. It was so exciting. We just love nothing more than supporting you and traveling on your behalf to find really wonderful, fabulous things for you. So I'm going to go put some links up and stop rambling, because I'm not really sure if I've recovered yet. But thank you for tuning in.